Hello, this is a quick seed stitch tutorial. This is a seed stitch blanket that I am making. So you can see the knobs are kind of every other space or so the way it goes. It makes a nice diagonal pattern, and it is the same on front and back. I am knitting at the 12 o'clock position, which would be inverted knitting if I was knitting in a true round, which would mean that this would be my outside and this would be my inside. Really for this, I think it doesn't matter. This is a blanket, so it's not actually connected all the way, and even when I am knitting in the round, I do tend to prefer inside out knitting. This is made with yarn held double. And I'm just going to show you really quick how you do it. So I am obviously mid-row right now. But essentially you're just knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. So if you know what that looks like, you'll know the next stitch is knit. So bring the yarn to the back. I do English style and then go through the left side of the loops through to the back. Wrap the yarn around the hook, and then bring the, or not hook, I guess needle, bring the needle back and pull the stitch off. That was the knit. Now we bring the yarn to the front and we take the needle through the right side of the loops in front of the needle, wrap our yarn around, push the needle back, catching that yarn that we just wrapped and pulling it off onto the other side. And you just continue that over and over. So, pretty simple stitch. We're just going to run through, and I will show you now. If you're like me and you're a beginner and you are not sure how to identify which stitches are knits and which are purls, like say you set it down for a while and you're trying to figure out, oh, is the next one, am I starting off with knitting or am I starting off with purling? How do I tell? Well, I used to have to keep a counter because I couldn't tell the difference between them, but now I can, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to get back to a knit stitch really quick. Let me kind of fluff out some of this bulk. This is a pretty large piece that I'm working on. Okay, so let's get back to a knit stitch. Now, one way to tell is which side is the yarn coming out of. Once the stitch is done, if it's coming out of the front, that means we just purled, because purling brings the yarn in the front. If the yarn were coming out of the back side, it would mean we just knitted. Another way to look at it is, where is the little knot coming out of? Is the knot high or is it low? High, low. So you can see if it's high, this was purled, right? Or, well, I don't know, maybe it was knit. Point is, when we knit, we put the bump in the back. When we purl, we put the bump in the front. So right now we have a high front. There we have a low front, high front, low front. So since we have a high front, we want the bump to be not in the front, we want it to be in the back, so that we don't have too high, right? Or whatever. So we see that it's a high stitch, means we're going to knit. Low stitch, we're going to purl, and they should alternate. So bring the yarn to the back. Remember, you're taking the needle through the left side into the back of the other needle, wrapping the yarn around, bringing the needle back through and catching that loop that you just made, and then pulling it off. Now we just knitted. And so you can see our yarn's not coming through the front anymore. It's coming through the back. So if the yarn comes through the back of our working needle, and our working needle is always on the right side, then we know that we just knitted. Another way, once again, is to look at those bumps. Low bump, high bump, low bump, high bump. Okay, we have a low bump, so if we have a low bump in front, we want to put a bump in front. So now we want to purl. Also, we know that we just knitted because the yarn's coming out the back again. Okay, so bring it to the front. So our yarn was coming out the back. For English knitting, we bring it through the front. Remember, in through the right side, in the front of the needle, of the left-handed needle. Loop it around the yarn we went through, or the needle we went through with, pull, bring it back, catching that loop and pulling the stitch over. Now we're back to having the yarn in the front because we just purled. Yarn in front, we just purled. Okay, so now what if we are finishing our row and then we're setting it down? So it used to be that if I was doing something like this and I wouldn't know how to start the next row if I didn't give it a couple stitches to begin with, but now I can tell, and I'll show you how you can tell. So let's just quickly get through the rest of this row so that we can get to starting a new row. It used to be that I would count with this blanket. I would, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. So then if I ended the row by purling, I knew that the next row I would start by purling. Purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one. And then if I ended that row, I knew I started the next one with a knit. But what if you finish the row and you put it down and you don't remember? Well, I will show you. It's basically the same thing that we just did, but we're going to look at it freshly. Let me some of this bulk through. Oh, and you will see here really shortly that I'm starting a new ball of yarn. And I am doing a felted join. You can see here's where my felted join is. I can show on another video how I do my felted join. It's just a way to not have to weave in ends later. Just because like this blanket, especially because I'm holding double, I did not want to have to weave in so many ends at the end of my project. And I can show you that in another video maybe when I get to the next ball. Okay, we're getting to the end of the row. And I'm going to go ahead and I gotta switch my needle position once I finish. Just one moment. So this is where at the end where I would have to like try to remind myself, okay, which way did I end it with? So I know which way to start it with, but I don't need to do that anymore. And maybe you won't either. I'm not even paying attention, though I can tell I just knitted because it came off the back. Okay, so now I gotta flip to make this my right hand needle and this my left hand needle. So I'm gonna take the whole bulk of this and just kind of flop it down. Find where my needle went under all of this mass. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. And now I gotta pull this up. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay, so now, when I look at it, I can tell already which way I need to go, because, look, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. I don't want to put another, I have a bump in front. Look, the bump is in back. If you're looking at, so the bump in high, low is really referring to, is the bump in front or is the bump in the back? Because when you're looking at it like this, you can kind of see better. So the bump is in the front, no bump. Bump in the front, no bump. Now if we flip this upside down, no bump, bump, no bump, bump. Which means that, you know, this is purled, that's knit, purled, knit. So the yarn position can be confusing, I guess, when you're starting the new row, because it's all kind of just, you know, on the end here. Though I guess it is still like, you know, coming out the front. Anyways, since we have the bump in front, we don't want to put another bump in front on this stitch. We'll have two bumps right next to each other. We want to create that space. See, there's a bump, space, bump, space, bump, space as we're going down that row. So if we do another purl, we would have bump, bump, right tucked up right next to each other. There would be no space. So we know that we need to knit this one because the bump is high, bump is low. Bump is high means it was purled and we need to knit that stitch. If the bump is high, we need to knit the stitch. If the bump is low, we need to purl the stitch. So starting this way, right, we're gonna, from the left side of the yarns through to the back of the needle, take the excess, wrap it around the needle, pull it back, catching the bump, and sliding it off. Now we bring it forward so that we can purl the next one. And then we just repeat. We keep going and going. And going. All the way through. Now, what if we're starting the row as a purl? How do we put our needle in? I'll show you in just a moment. I'm about halfway through my row now, and I'm just checking in just to show a little demonstration again, in case you forget. Yarn comes out the front. It means you need to knit the next one, so take it to the back. Knit, yarn comes out the back. It means you need to purl the next one, so bring it to the front and purl. And I will see you when I get to the end of this row. Okay, so we're just going to finish up this row really quick. I'm right by the end. And then the next one we will start by purling. So I will show you how you get your needle started. Because the first time I did it was kind of like weird. And I was like, whoa, what? And then I fixed it, or what I had to do it like. I had to do it kind of like not upside down, but like kind of like opposite C's of what I was expecting. So that it didn't like, mess it up. Hold on, I gotta get all this mess, all of this bulk down a little bit. Okay. Let's finish up here. Sorry if the camera is shaky. I don't really have a way to set up for filming like this, where I'm showing what I'm looking at. So I'm just kind of holding a tripod on my lap. I'm trying to angle this a little bit better. Yeah, maybe like that. Okay. Maybe like that. I've got a few stitches left. This is a purl. This is a knit. This is a purl. This is a knit. And we're ending with a purl. Okay, so now we gotta switch needle positions again. So I'm just gonna toss that over and find my other needle. Oh, I found it. Okay. Pull it under. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Okay, there's that. Let's get the bulk of this out from under here. Oh my gosh, come on. It's getting to be so bulky. I'm gonna have to switch to not inverted knitting just to get it out from under me. Okay, anyway. So, look at that. That's interesting. Okay, so, starting the new one, it's coming out the back, right? So the last time when we started a row, it was coming out the front. Oh, it's not really focused. There we go. The last time when we were starting a row, it was coming out the front. And that kind of indicated to us that we needed to knit, right? Because if the yarn comes out the front, we need to knit. This time, look, the yarn's coming out the back. That means we did knit. We need to purl. Really, I know we ended the row with a purl. And you can tell that, obviously, because it's high on the back, coming out that same side. But anyway, point is, okay, so you come around and you're like, oh, shit. Which way am I supposed to do it again? Okay, well, just look at the bump position. So low, high, low, high, low, high. means it's in the back, means we need to purl, because if we purl this stitch, it'll put the bump in the front of this stitch. If we knit this one, we'll have two on the back side. We'll have a long, space between it. So obviously we're going to have to knit this one because this one was purled. We'll have to purl this one because this one was knit. So to purl it, and it's kind of wonky, so like you would think, this is where I got tripped up, is I just went like this, right? Okay, here's my cable. My cable is in front for me of these yarns, and this is the wrong. If you just go in front here, wait a second, yeah, because it'll get tripped up. So what you want to do is you got to kind of go underneath the back side, right, of this yarn, because the yarn should be coming in front. If you do it this way and you bring it through, then look, you get too much yarn pulled on the needle there. And so that's where I was like getting confused when I first was doing it, because it seems like that would be the right way to do it, right? Well, I don't know, but it did to me. So how you actually want to do it is get your cable needle behind this yarn that's coming off of it. Okay, then you can go in from the side, the right side to the left side in the front, and with the yarn in front of this needle and cable, then you can take it and wrap it around the needle. And now this time when you pull it to the side, you only have one set of yarn loops. And there you go. You pull it off. And then you take it to the back for the next stitch, which is a knit. And you take it to the front for a purl. And you take it to the back for a knit. And that is my easy seed stitch tutorial for a nice seed stitch blanket. Yeah. All right. Have a good day. Bye.